Welcome back to another video. How are you beautiful people doing on this day? So I decided that I was going to double back and I was going to do a video addressing the black male. So I've done videos addressing the black females, and I don't want people to think that this channel is an attack on just black females. This channel is an attack on all things wrong with the world, whether it's in the black community, whether it's in the world period, not just the black community. This is what this channel is made about. So I made a video talking about the modern day black woman, right? So now I'm gonna make a video talking about the men who are conceiving kids and refusing to be in their kids' life. Right. So let me show y'all how these things affect. Right. So you take the average father. Right. Most fathers that's horrible fathers, they probably come because they had horrible fathers, or it develops from some type of resentment from their father, for whatever reason. The resentment could have been him beating on his wife, which is the guy's mother. It could be him cheating on his wife. It could be him, always belittling his wife. Well, it's just not physical abuse. It could be verbal abuse. It can be all those things, right? But my thing is this: as a man, once you become conscious of whatever reason it is for you resenting your father, my thing would be why your whole agenda or objective should be to do the opposite of what you experienced and to be the opposite of what you experienced. You know what I mean? It's not about taking your generational trauma and passing it down to your kids. So I'm gonna touch on me. You know what I mean? Like I said, I believe in being pure, unfiltered. That's what this is all about. I want you guys to really feel like, okay, this is an actual person with substance, not nobody trying to come on here and portray this perfect woke guy that got everything figured out, because I don't. I'm still figuring things out. I just turned 28 on July the 7th. So, I got a lot of things figured out and I'm aware of a lot of things, but I'm always seeking to learn much more. So you look at me, right? I would say that my mom, I was predominantly raised by my mom. I once stayed in a two-parent household when I was in, I want to say probably elementary, from the time I was born all the way up until, I would say probably somewhere in my fourth grade year. I stayed in a two-parent household. My parents ended up splitting up. So then from, I think the second half of my fourth grade year all the way up until my junior year, I stayed with my mom. And my senior year, and up until, maybe 5 years ago, I moved out on my own, but I was staying with my grandmother. And she stayed an hour away from where I'm from. That's neither here nor there. But I look at I look at my life, and I look at where I'm at, and I look at how I view things and my perspective on a lot of things. And as I get older, I realize things could have been different and it could have been better for me. So I would say that one thing that I always lacked as a person, and it still seeps into me to this day, so that's still something I'm having to work on, is confidence in myself. You know what I mean? So that confidence, the lack of confidence, hurt me in a lot of different areas. It wasn't just it was with women. I never felt that I was a good looking guy. You know what I mean? So that was always a confident killer. Even when I played sports, I never was confident in what I was doing. You know what I mean? I was always so afraid to fail, and so afraid to, look like I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And it was a learning process. So it's like you're gonna have to go through that phase if that's what you're trying to accomplish. Like even with my sports channel, it'd be times where I look at other sports channels and I'd be like, man, those guys, like I hear how well they articulate what they're trying to say, but I'm looking like, bro, they've been doing that for years. You just started, so you got to understand it. But to get back into the fatherless home, I look at my transition in life, man, and I taught myself how to do pretty much everything that I know how to do. I taught myself how to fight. I taught myself how to dress. I taught myself how to talk to women. I taught myself how to swim. I taught myself, and it's like, what you hear me imputing on you guys from video to video, none of that came from a father. That came from my father. All of that came strictly from me watching interviews and pulling knowledge from people that I hold in a high status, not because of their finances, but because of their mentality and how it was able to shift me, and how I was able to look at things so much more differently after I was aware, and after I learned from those guys. I pulled from those guys, you know what I mean? But a lot of my life, I spent just not confident. I spent, just not believing in myself, man. So it's a lot of opportunities in life that I missed out on. But when you look at a lot of these kids, a lot of the black kids that end up in jail, or they end up dead at an early age, or they end up in jail for the rest of their life because of a crime they committed, a lot of that could have been possibly altered if the father would have been there, or if the father would have showed them what habits of a man is. You know what I mean? Because some of us, we have fathers they show up and show their face, but they're not teaching you any real principles. They're not teaching you how to be a man. They're teaching you the toxic sides of what you consider being a man, how to talk to a lot of females, or how to sag your pants, or how to drink, how to smoke dope. Like, those are the sides that they show you. Oh, you ain't supposed to cry. A man ain't never supposed to cry. Like, we're people and we don't have emotion. That's how you create monsters. And those monsters that you create with that mentality are the ones you see that's dead at an early age, or the ones you see in the penitentiary for the rest of their life, because they wasn't taught. They only was taught anger. They never was taught, happiness, but it never was taught it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel vulnerable. It's okay to feel, it's okay to feel naked. You know what I mean? It's okay to cry. I just went through a breakup. Me and my girl, we back together though, but we had broke up. We broke up briefly because of complications in life. You know what I mean? Like I said, once again, not believing in the situation and not being confident, it still seeps into me as an adult man. I'm 28 years old, and that's still something. But I had to understand that when I cried for that breakup, it was tears not just for the breakup, but for a lot of tears I'd never shed it in life. Like, these was tears I never cried. I up until that point, I can't remember the last time I cried, and I was 27 at the time. I can't remember the last time I cried, man. Like, real talk. But because I never was taught how to process those emotions, it's like with my mom is the dopest. My mom raised me. But the thing is, my mom had to be nurturer and enforcer. So it's hard to be both. And honestly, a lot of what it's going to be is going to be the enforcer, because I'm trying to raise you up in a respectable manner. I'm trying to make sure that you don't end up dead at an early age. I'm trying to make sure that you don't end up in prison with a life sentence. I'm trying to make sure that you don't end up being influenced by the wrong crowd and getting yourself in some situations that you can't get out of. You know what I mean? Because the father isn't there and teaching you that. And I'm trying to teach you how to value women. You know what I mean? Your father isn't there to teach you how to value women. So I'm trying to teach you how to value women. So you have a woman to a degree. That's why I heard Charleston White speak on this a lot of times. We pick up traits from women because we've been raised by. You know what I mean? So we usually act off of emotion when a man is not supposed to act off emotion. A man is supposed to act off of what needs to be done. So when I have that feeling of, man, I don't want to go to work, I hate my job or whatever the case may be, but at the end of the day, I got to push past that because I have a family I have to provide for. You know what I mean? This boy right here is counting on me getting up and going to work because this job is paying me, and that's putting food in his stomach and a roof over his head, but that's also giving me insurance. He needs some dental wise, bam, insurance take care of that. Something happened with his health, bam, insurance take care of that. But you got a lot of fathers that's leaving their kids out here with no type of life jacket. You know what I mean? They having to figure things out on their own. And the thing is, you got so many parents, fathers that's so caught up in their own light or their own head that they're not even putting time into, or they're not even paying attention. And some of them might be, they just choosing to ignore it. And I think the vast majority of them are ignoring it, but they're not investing that time into their kids. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not. You look at today, especially in today's age, what do most parents do? Here go that phone. And the kid go duck off in the corner somewhere and they're on their phone. You know what I mean? And that phone is raising them. So what they're exposed to, what I spoke about in one of my last videos, was the hoism being pushed by the social media with the female rappers like, Glorilla, Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red. She's like the poster girl for it. And that's what your daughters are looking up to. But see, and like I say, and it affects the female too. It's not just the male. It affects the male. The male and the female. It's not just the male. You know what I mean? It like for the female, what it does is it doesn't show you a representation of what a man is. Because the only representations you're seeing are your uncles, and you're seeing how they carry themselves, how they sag, how they beat on women, how they, devalue women, calling women, bitches and hoes, and, not treating them with respect. So it show that is what you gravitate, and that's what you see. So that's what you're attracted to. So when you see a lot of these women, these female, young women, young ladies that's attracted to a lot of those thugs, because that's all that they had to look up to. You know what I mean? Because they never seen a real man. They never seen a man getting up every day, going to work, providing for his family, even when they didn't want to. They never seen a man coming up to his mom, coming up to their mom, which is his wife, and telling her how beautiful she is. Saying, hold up, baby, let me hold the door for you. Or hold up, baby, let me go do this for you. You know what I mean? They never seen that. So they're conditioned to be independent, and it's not, and it's based off of, and a lot of them, they don't, the option, they don't have that option because they're growing, when they grow up. Now, it's your job when you get of age to condition, to pay attention and to educate yourself on the world and understand that you're going to need help. That is, and it's not okay, and it's okay to want help, and it's okay to accept help. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to say just depend on it, but it's okay to accept it. You know, so those, it's so many different situations I can go into talking about, you know, fatherless homes and how important it is and how detrimental it is to the Black community specifically. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was, you know, just telling you guys some things about me briefly and how my transition into the world. You know what I mean? But it's so hard for me nowadays to look at a lot of guys, especially, you know, people that I know, you know, whether it's, you know, siblings, whether it's, you know, family members, or whether it's friends. And for me to know that you have kids and you're not actually in your kid's life as a man, that's not cool. And you're doing it willingly, that's not cool to me. It's not cool at all. It's a lot of things, you know what I mean? Like I said, I was talking to a female at work, and she was talking about somebody she knew being on child support. And I was like, good, he deserves to be on child support. If he would just contribute and help out with the kid, he probably would never been put on child support. And you do have spiteful baby moms that even if you are doing that, you're put on child support. But at the end of the day, you knew that going into the situation. You knew what type of woman this was that you was laying down with. So why should anybody feel sorry for you? You know what I mean? I know I'm bouncing around a lot. You know, it's just like I say, man, a lot of times I get to talking, man, and I just get to touching on so many different subjects because my mind never stops racing. I think that's why I have a hard time sleeping, because it'll jump from one topic to another topic to another topic to another topic. But like I said, I wanted to just do a video and show you guys that. And I know I didn't go into too deep of an elaboration. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these videos, man, I really just do it from the soul. Like, I don't pre-plan, I don't write nothing down. Like, I do it literally from the soul. That's it. If you ever see a notebook on my table whenever I'm filming videos for this channel, and a pen, it's for my sports channel. Like you see, if you look at this one, it shows, well, I don't know if you can see that, but it's writing down stuff talking about a Tua Tagovailoa contract for football. You know what I mean? But that's what that's for. But for this, I usually just speak from the heart. You know, I don't like to write nothing down. I like to just get in front of this camera. And if I got to stutter over some words, if I got to have awkward pauses here and there, then it is what it is, because that's the most genuine aspect. And that's what I want this channel to be. I don't want this channel to be perfection. I don't want y'all to look at me and think that I'm the perfect guy. I'm the perfect man. Man, I'm flawed. I still have insecurities at times, man. I still handle and process things not the best mentally, even at my age, even though I'm conscious of it. But sometimes I still, and it's easier to go against the grain and do what you would have done opposed to what, you know, what you should do and what you need to do. So I'm human, you know what I mean? So I dibble and dabble in that just as much as the next man, you know. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna always try to improve. And like I say, with this channel is this channel as a whole is to help each other. You know, like I say, iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. But then it's to address topics that needs to be addressed that a lot of people are afraid to address. And I'm not afraid to address it, because this stuff needs to be addressed. You know, you need to know how your kids feel when you're not in their lives, you know, by choice. You know what I mean? And whether you're in prison for the rest of your life or you in the early grave, that's still by choice, because you could have made the decision to get uninvolved with whatever it was you was doing when you know you had kids or you had kids coming. Everybody has a choice. Life is all about choices and decisions. And we're going to live and we're going to die by whichever ones we decide to, you know, uphold to, you know. But like I said, man, I ain't gonna go too much. I ain't gonna go too deep in that, man. I just want to gradually touch on that, but I most definitely plan on elaborating on that more in the future. You know, but you know, that is it for this video, man. If you did enjoy this video, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, man, make sure you subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure you click that post notification bell, where you be notified every time I upload. Also, man, I appreciate the love for everybody who watches my videos, for everybody who shares my videos, for everybody who likes my videos, for everybody who comments on my videos. You know, I really do appreciate the love and support. You know, I'm gonna do this regardless, but it makes it so much more enjoyable when I know that I'm actually touching people, and when y'all can actually communicate with me and let me know how it's affecting y'all. I really do appreciate that. And man, it can be some other topics that's going on in the world, not just the Black community in the world, period, that you want to hear my take on. Comment down below, man, and that's what I'm here for. But I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out this thing. Peace.